Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining me in this video. I saw a video that is trending on Facebook where the military officers in Anambra State are demolishing a house and actually belonging to Soludo, commander of those people that carry, pistol, breaking people's neck. I have shared their videos, stand with that number, whether they call them in Aka-Odo, something like that. So they said the military are demolishing his house because he was linked to unknown gunmen. This is coming after 2 weeks, barely 2 weeks, where Isienyi, one of the House of Assembly member in Anambra State, accused Governor Soludo of carrying out the master plan of eliminating Azuka, the Labour Party House of Assembly member, because of impeachment saga, that they wanted to impeach Soludo. And because of that, Azuka is the only one remaining to align with them for them to impeach Soludo. And maybe they saw that he will align with them, and they went ahead and they eliminated this young man. So everything is just coming out little by little now. I want to use this opportunity to talk to so many people who do not understand what insecurity means in a sovereign state. I repeat, insecurity in a sovereign state. Now, let me break it down for you. You see the Boko Haram, not only Boko Haram, what is another name, Mamuda, all these terrorist groups you are seeing. But these people they call unknown gunmen, this one in the southeast. Let me tell you, none of them can last for 4 days in Nigeria. If Nigeria is really a country that wanted to flush them out with their capacity. With the capacity Nigeria have now, if they said they want to flush out every terrorist in Nigeria, every crime, it will take them 4 days to 1 week. They will do that. I know because I have the information. If they want to wipe out terrorism in Nigeria, they will do that. The reason why they can't do that is because any insecurity that passes 1 week, 4 days in a country, know that government officials are sponsoring the insecurity. I don't know how many times I will continue to explain this to you. Let me tell you, who are the unknown gunmen? Who is Boko Haram? All these things you are hearing. If any country want to wipe them out, it will not take them time. They will do that. I understand that for some people, for some countries, it might take them 1 year or 2 years. But with the capacity I see in Nigeria, it will not take them 48 hours to do that. But they can't do it because all this insecurity, terrorism are linked to politicians. And most of the time I try to explain it to people, but anybody that has blocked their ear to understand it will never understand. Some people have crossed their mind that they can never understand. Now, the issue of insecurity in the southeast, it is government motivated insecurity. I don't know how many times I'm going to tell people this. These are government motivated insecurity. Government are the ones sponsoring it. Government talks, government this, government that. You understand? You might not like Hope's other man, okay? But he's saying the truth about insecurity, that they themselves politicians, they are the ones sponsoring it. He did not exonerate himself. He did not say, I'm not among the people who are not doing it. He said, it is the politicians, not IPOB. And I see so many people, Igbos, doing live videos, going to so many live videos, calling, I told them, this IPOB, this Biafra thing, I told them that this, if I see them, I will laugh. Who is IPOB? Who is IPOB? What capacity did IPOB have? If they want to, by the way, IPOB is not responsible for it, okay? Then let's assume that IPOB is responsible for it. Who is IPOB not to be defeated in 24 hours? Answer me. Who is IPOB? For example, they are responsible. Who is IPOB not to be defeated in 24 hours? I am saying this for you to understand. I'm not saying it is IPOB. Get me well. So I'm saying this because I want to let you know that government is responsible for all these things. You will find it difficult to understand because you are not a security expert. By the way, I'm not a security expert, but at least talk to me about security. Let me tell you what it is. I will tell you what it is. I will tell you all about the insecurity you don't know in Nigeria. That is actually what is going on. So how would Soludo justify these two things? I've been waiting for Soludo to go and sue Isienyi. Your House of Assembly member is accusing you that you killed another House of Assembly member because they wanted to impeach you. Soludo is still mute, no response. Evidence full ground. Okay. This is another one now that the commander of Soludo, his house is being taken down. Well, I'm still waiting for the verification of information. I've contacted some people that this is what I saw on Facebook. I want to, understand what is actually going on. So if you yourself know what is going on, you can write it on the comment section. We cannot continue in this way.
So I'm looking at part of the reports of Amnesty International, one of the summaries, which I would like you to provide insight. So he said, the multifaceted nature of the actors in the Southeast violence makes it easy for state and non-state actors to reduce the actors to a singular narrative, an IPOB ESN secessionist group. What do you make of that?
Well, what we are saying is that there is a popular, very wrong narrative around that whenever you heard about attacks or killings or arson in Southeast, it has been completely reduced and narrowed to a very wrong, not entirely, but very narrow narrative of saying that IPOB ESN. But the issue is beyond that. We believe that focus, or that wrong focus, and narrowing down everything to ESN and IPOB has completely deprived the authorities of the opportunity to holistically look at the problem and solve it. Beyond the issue of IPOB and ESN, there are so many other issues. Drugs, there are issues of cult groups, there are issues of political violence, all this, and criminality, whereby because gunmen believe that whenever they strike, the blame is shifted to IPOB, therefore they continue to do their activities. And we believe that has made it very difficult for the government to address the problem, and it has narrowed down the problem to the wrong focus. That is why we said this crisis is hybrid. It has so many faces, it has so many dimensions, and all dimensions have to be looked at and thoroughly examined so that people will live in peace. Many people don't go to the Southeast anymore to bury their dear ones. Many people don't go at Christmas. Many people don't go on holidays to visit their families. They have to move their families somewhere safer, either Lagos or Abuja, and then they meet their families. And this is unfortunate, and it is affecting people's right and dignity of life itself. And that is why we said that the problem has to be examined. The narrative has to move realistically beyond narrowing it down to IPOB and ESL.
And your report indicts the police, the military, and Ebuka in the southeast of much of these killings, to which the defense headquarters has been responding. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Kangi, particularly responded. We would like you to listen to the soundbite, and we'll come back for your reaction.
Like I always tell you, everybody with phone in his hand, mobile phone, Android phone, is a potential source of information to the whole world, not even to us here. As you are sitting down now, you can say information to any part of the world that you want, and you say what you want. Nobody will tell you for that. You have, because there is freedom of whatever you want to do. But we can tell you that the military is not engaged in any extrajudicial killing in the southeast. You all agree with me that the effort of our troops in the recent 2 months have significantly improved the security situation in our country, as most of the reports we have been hearing and operation being conducted has reduced because the effort of those criminals have seriously been degraded.
There you have it, the response from the defense headquarters. And in fact, if you listened, if we were able to take it further, you'd have heard him say that Amnesty International position is consistent with your long-standing posture towards the Nigerian military. How do you respond?
Well, I think what the defense spokesperson said is completely wrong, and I believe he hasn't, or they haven't read our report. In the report, we also mentioned cases where military men were executed, their bases attacked or their barracks attacked. We also mentioned the fact that because of consistent attack on security agencies, which are unlawful as well, they could not be able to do their duties effectively. And we also mentioned cases where soldiers were executed by gunmen. And therefore, it is not about consistency, about condemning the military. What we are doing is doing the honest thing and saying that we have cases. While doing this investigation, we interviewed 100 people. And out of that 100, 95 of them, we interviewed them face-to-face in the southeast region. So we have our evidence, and we believe that the military should take time to read this report and look at cases. In fact, before we even release the report, we also send them letters telling them that we have these allegations. If you have any detail that can help us to understand what is going on or how your operations affect human rights, we will be glad to have them. And we didn't hear from them. Therefore, I don't think that there is any weight or any credibility to the claim that we are consistently against the military. We have nothing against the military, and we always believe that they are doing a constitutional responsibility. But that does not deflect the fact that they have to comply with human rights. And we will not shy away from pointing out whenever human rights are violated, because security is for people to live with dignity. And if it ends up becoming a means through which people are deprived of their personal liberty, we have to say it, and we have to say it bluntly without fear.
We may not, it's not difficult to understand when criminals carry out criminal acts, but let's talk about this part of extrajudicial killing in terms of an explainer here. Well, the DHQ was just given his position. I don't think they put out as many facts as possible, but they dismissed the allegations in clear terms. So when you say there's extrajudicial killing, give us maybe an instance. For example, is it the fact that they catch a criminal and they kill the criminal and without a due process, or innocent people are caught in the crossfire? What exactly is the nature of this extrajudicial killing?
Well, the extrajudicial killings that we have recorded included raids. For example, in places where members of IPOB or ESN are suspected to be located. In the process of those moves to either arrest or carry out security searches, that is where this kind of extrajudicial executions happen. And there are cases where people are picked up from their homes and they are never heard of forever. We have, in the report, we documented cases of at least 4 people who were picked up by security men and nothing has been heard about them as far back as 2021. And let me take you back to 2016. Our work on the situation in Southeast does not start with this report. In 2016, we released a report documenting atrocities committed by the security agencies. And we continue to document these incidents, and if the military and the police and any other agency is interested, we are glad to give them details of families, of people with names and addresses and date of birth who have been extrajudicially executed, not only by the police, not only by the military, but also the Abube Egu, which is a paramilitary outfit set up by some governors to address incessant security crisis in the region. And they ended up becoming a means. As we know, vigilante all over Nigeria do this because they don't care about human rights, and they can easily be manipulated to go after enemies of politicians or something like that. So we have our evidence, and we are very glad, we are very happy to present those evidences, and we are always in touch with families of victims. And we believe that there is need to do a soul search about these things. Let us come and sit down, look at those cases, and find out who did what and when, and let us make sure that the full weight of law come in to ensure justice for the victims.
I want to read another line in the report. It said there have been cases of military reprisal attacks in several communities in the southeast in relation to the activities of IPOB, ESN, and gunmen, leading to human rights abuses. Perhaps is where the military is responding from. But let's talk about a place in Imo State where we understand there's a place called, I think, Tiger Base. I have personally gotten reports of people saying that place is hell on earth. Literally, like, if you get there, coming out of that place is going to be by the grace of the Almighty God. I think it's called Tiger Base. The first time I heard about it was before the election. I think the Labour Party governorship candidate in that election was the one talking about that particular spot, Tiger Base. So what have you heard about Tiger Base and the alleged atrocities being committed by security agencies at Tiger Base?
Well, Tiger Base is a very horrific and horrendous place where people go in and either come back with a lot of life-threatening injuries. Some end up executed. Some end up with wounds that stay with them for the rest of their lives. Let me also say that Tiger Base, the cases we receive about Tiger Base, the complaints of the horrific human rights violations taking place at Tiger Base, had to compel us to do a new report, a standalone report, which we are going to release about Tiger Base. And that is all I will say about that place. But we know about it, and that is why we have even carried out an extensive research on the atrocities taking place in that place. It is just similar to the SARS base in Okuzu, also in Anambra State, where so many young people were executed, so many young people went in and they didn't come out, and their families never heard about them. And that is what Tiger Base is gradually becoming. People go in and hardly come out. When they come out either disabled because of torture or other horrific, inhuman treatment. And we believe that the authorities have to investigate that Tiger Base. But as I have said, Amnesty International had already carried out an extensive research. And when it's due, we are going to release a standalone report on the atrocities happening in that place.
Is it the same with Anambra as highlighted in your report? And I'm going to read from it. It says, in several towns in Anambra, including in Obosi, Oka, Onitsha, Ogidi, and Umoji, cult groups operate unchecked amid a thriving drug business, with hundreds killed in cultism-related clashes. What can you tell us about your engagement with the police amid your investigations about the atrocities being committed here, and why is there a helplessness in tackling this?
Well, if you read some parts of the report, you see that we have mentioned the fact that places like Obosi and other related places where there are huge killings as a result of cult activities, we have made it very clear. The reason why these things have been going on in those areas and other parts of the south is because almost many or all the police stations in those areas have been either burned down, the policemen killed, or something like that. So without the police and with their barracks, with their police stations constantly being attacked and their men being killed, that is why those places became what can best be described as wild west. where anything just happens without any deterrence. And that is why these things continue. And that is why we even said that these attacks on security agencies are gross human rights violations and crimes that must stop. And that is why we continue to point out that if these things continue, there will be chaos and the effect is better imagined.
All right, so in winding down, in wrapping up this conversation, Amnesty has always been the conscience trying to check excesses in terms of human rights, and we cannot wait for that report on Tiger Base. And when it comes out, we invite you, also invite the government, because there's this back and forth as to that particular place, the notorious things that go on there as alleged, and people just disappear according to what we hear. But the government will also, the authorities, the police, I guess, will be in a good position to speak. So we are waiting for that Tiger Base report, because we cannot have the Aka-Odo on our hand, no matter the situation, especially if it has to do with human rights. But I'm sure everybody has an explainer. But in winding down, Amnesty International doing their work. When you put out all of these reports and you make a case, but the government doesn't seem to respond, or the people you're trying to address this report to are not bulging or are denying or are literally just, aloof or evasive. What next? What is the next line of action? Is it just talk?
Well, it's not talk. Amnesty International is a global organization. We have over 10 million members across the world. And we are not only in Nigeria, we are in almost 152 countries. And we pull our force, we pull our numbers, we pull our capacity to mobilize and sensitize and influence policy. We use it everywhere. For example, the campaign on the situation in the Southeast is going to take place all over the world. It will continue. We will make sure that the world's attention is brought to it. We will make sure that appropriate authorities have done the right thing. And it is not only about talks. These things are documented. And I don't think that anything that has been documented will end up as a talk. We believe that even if this leadership or current government and the ones to come and the previous ones continue to ignore these things, we believe that one day justice will catch up with all the human rights violators. We are very optimistic, we are very positive, and we are never discouraged by the I don't care attitude of the current leadership in the country and politicians who focus more on election than the lives of the people.
And we await that report. And we must also add at this point, yes, we've heard from the military. Needless to say that there should be more exhausting conversations, but we must also hear from the police on this one, their position as to the implications of your report. We must thank you very much, Mr. Issa Sanusi, is the Amnesty International Country Director for Nigeria. Thank you very much.